Doc. You with Retro Cool Nerd. Which one are you? He's a nerd.
Welcome, San Diego Comic Con 2024. We're here, Jimmy Retro Cool Nerd. We're here with Bob Bergen, iconic voice actor. We're talking about MeTV Toons today.
Yes.
What titles can we expect to see you in or hear you in?
Well, here's the deal. You'll probably hear more Mel Blanc than you will me because it's classic animation. You'll hear me every day because I'm the voice of the channel.
Okay.
So I'm doing all the promos every day talking about Bullwinkle and Underdog and Smurfs and Scooby-Doo and Speed Racer and Popeye and Tom and Jerry. So you're going to get completely sick of my voice. But stay tuned for the next cartoon because I'll be telling you what's coming up next.
You're doing bumpers?
I'm the promo voice, yeah.
Oh,
I'm the
right
announcer.
on. How did you get that sweet gig?
Oh my gosh, I auditioned against thousands. They just asked me. Honest to God, they just asked me. And they knew I do cartoon voices.
Yeah.
So one of the fun things about my job is for the MeTV Toons promos, if it's Underdog, I'm playing him like this. If it's Smurfs, I'm playing him like this. A Man Called Flintstone, I play like this. So, we got totally animated 80s, I do this. So I'm able to use all my character voices for the MeTV Toons promos.
Can you tease what might be the most obscure title we're going to see on the channel?
Well, I think obscure is a weird word because everyone's going to go, oh, I remember that, but they don't remember when they remember that. For me, it's Underdog. Because as a kid, I remember Underdog was a serialized cartoon, part 1, part 2, part 3, etc. And as I'm doing these promos, I'm getting sense memory of Captain Crunch cutting the roof of my mouth, waiting for the next episode of Underdog. So, and there's also stuff that hasn't aired yet that is going to really drive fans wild. You know, it's 24/7 of classic animation, so they've got stuff waiting to come on the air.
Like not deleted scenes, but unseen footage, or
Well,
stuff we haven't seen since '60s.
Definitely stuff you haven't seen since the '60s and '70s, and sometimes '80s. But also, we've never had this kind of a package at a one-stop shop. I mean, there's so many different franchises on one network that they've never done. Nobody's ever done this before. I mean, you had to change the channel to get to this one and this one and this one to see the variety that MeTV Toons has.
And so it's all classic, no original.
Correct.
Okay.
And no plan to do anything original.
Right.
With the exception for Bugs Bunny's birthday, Hairs to Bugs is a 1-hour documentary on all things Bugs Bunny. So that's an original documentary based on classic animation.
Right. All right, one more before I let you go. When I was a kid, I'm thinking you might have already answered it, but when I was a kid, I used to have to get up super early on Saturday mornings to beat my brother to get the good spot in front of the couch, a good spot on the couch in front of the TV.
Yeah.
But I'd have to roll into the kitchen earlier than that to beat my parents so I could pour myself a big bowl of sugary goodness. So Bob, look right here. What's your favorite bowl of Saturday morning cereal, and what cartoons did you watch as a boy?
It was Captain Crunch, and not a lot of milk because it does get soggy even in milk. I don't care what Captain Crunch said. And I was a huge Popeye. I was a huge Speed Racer. I was a huge Bullwinkle. And of course,
The Looney Tunes folks. Big on Looney Tunes.
Oh, you're taking me back, Popeye.
There we go.
Yeah. The captain demands your respect by tearing up the inside of your mouth, like you mentioned.
I also got in trouble because I would sneak into the kitchen and eat all the Crunch berries.
Yeah.
And leave the Captain Crunch, and my mother would be like really mad at me. My dad would be really mad at me. Where are the Crunch berries? I don't know.
And then you got to be, hey, I'm not eating that. There's no Crunch berries.
That's right.
Right. Bob, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your San Diego Comic Con. All right, buddy. I appreciate it. Welcome, San Diego Comic Con 2024. I'm Jimmy with Retro Cool Nerd. This is Candi Milo.
Yes. Hey, I love Retro Cool Nerd.
Oh,
I do
yes.
love you guys.
Oh, awesome.
This is very cool.
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
We guess we're done here.
Yeah.
But tell me you're here to talk about MeTV and the Bugs Bunny documentary you're involved
Yeah, I was. So they asked me to come on to this Bugs Bunny documentary because I have taken over the voices of June Foray. So I do. I do Granny, and I do Witch Hazel, and then I also do Miss Prissy, and now I do Petunia Pig. And I, as one of the few females on the Warner Brothers schedule, because June Foray was one of very few females, they asked me to be part of this documentary, and it was easy because MeTV Toons has set it up so that we're all reliving our childhood. Like, I grew up on Looney Tunes, and I grew up with the bad Daffy, like the wacky,
Right.
and I got my entire sense of humor from Looney Tunes. So that's how I got involved with it. And then I'm coming down here because I believe really strongly that we need to get back to 2D animation, which is hand drawn. We need to get back to excellent storytelling and absolutely beautiful animation. You know, it's all, they've restored everything. All this stuff has been redigitalized. It's going to be, I mean, Jim, it's going to be gorgeous. It really is.
I can't wait to see it. MeTV Toons, you said MeTVToons.com.
MeTV Toons is the station. You can find out where it is in your area by going to MeTVToons.com and popping in your zip code, and they'll tell you how to find us.
Now, this is all curated from the past, the 60s, probably 40s, 50s, 60s,
Yeah.
right? Is there anything going to be sort of newer that we're going to hear your talents on?
You will. I mean, they've got Freakazoid, and I did a couple of episodes, but they've got Two Stupid Dogs from Hanna-Barbera that I was on, and I played Little Red Riding Hood, which was supposed to be a one-off, but they laughed so hard, I kept coming back. They're hoping to get Tiny Toons, but you know, when you get major producers and directors involved, it gets expensive. But I will tell you this, everything old is new again. And anything that you're watching that June Foray did back then, I'm doing today. So it's that we are doing Scooby-Doo, doing all these voices today, but you've got everything. But I definitely saw Two Stupid Dogs, which makes me very happy.
I can't imagine that's got to be sort of a dream come true to fill in the shoes of your legend.
And it was not easy. It was heart-wrenching, but all of us waited until she was gone because she was recording up until the bitter end. I want to say 98. And then your breath fails and you're just older and it's hard to have the energy. But it felt great. And I'm being very candid when I say I was both honored and scared to death because she has a giant fan base. People loved her as a human, that little saucy minx. And they loved her as an actor. So yeah, it feels really good. But yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, I got one more before I let you go.
Sure.
When I was a young man, many moons ago, I used to have to get up early on Saturday mornings to beat my brother to the couch to get a good spot in front of the TV. But I have to get up earlier than that to beat my parents into the kitchen to pour myself a big bowl of sugary goodness, so candy. Right here, if you don't mind. What was your favorite bowl of Saturday morning cereal? And what cartoons did you watch way back then?
I watched Looney Tunes eating my Captain Crunch and cutting the inside of my mouth. So when you poured your Captain Crunch, dude, you need to let it get milky and get soft. But, you know, I came from a family when not only were we fighting, there was a lot of us kids, not only were we fighting for a seat on the couch, we were fighting for that cereal.
Right. I always say the captain demands your respect by Terry. It's a fine line between soggy and pain.
It's the same thing with Sugar Crisp.
Yeah.
Oh, the Honey Bear, I gotta sit in on the Sugar Crisp. And it would be like, no, what got soggy too? And all that you did with Rice Krispies, God love you, had to pour 1,000 pounds of sugar in it, or else you were just eating rice.
Or else it just sat on the shelf.
Thank you.
What's the date MeTV Toons starts?
We're up now, but tomorrow is the premiere of the Bugs Bunny. It's Bugs' 84th birthday, so you can tune in on MeTV Toons. And again, MeTVToons.com, pop in your zip code. It'll tell you where to find us. But tomorrow is the big day, and they're running cartoons all day long. Bugs Bunny, and my favorite is the opera one. Because it's, you know, very, very fun.
Yes,
where
that transcends time and generations.
Classic, man. Like
Candy, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your con.
Thank you.
Pleasure's all on this side of the microphone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
24. I'm here with Jeff Bergman, iconic voice actor.
Me. What's up, Doc?
Yeah, maybe you've heard it. We're here to talk about MeTV Toons,
Yes,
Bugs
sir.
Bunny documentary. What's your involvement in all this hootenanny?
Well, I'm super honored to be a part of this, Jimmy. I've been doing Bugs now for 35 years, so they asked me to be a part of a very special Bugs Bunny documentary celebrating his 84th birthday on July 27th. So, and then of course the launch of MeTV Toons. It's my childhood basically in one network, from Popeye to Spider-Man to Looney Tunes, Jetsons, Flintstones. I mean, I get like insane just talking about it. I mean, it's my whole life.
Talking to you guys, mentioning all these deep cuts, man, I'm just getting goosebumps. Just driving me crazy, man. I can't wait to dive in. So are we going to see some of your work on MeTV? Is it going that far back?
I think there will be. Yeah. I think you probably will see some stuff. You know, I mean, I came into it, 89, so I don't know where the classic, era begins, but I think it's possible that you will see some of the stuff like Box Office Bunny. That was done in '89, and that was all hand-drawn animation.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, where I did
Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck.
an Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, we got to get back to that 2D hand-drawn animation.
Yes, yes. I mean, that's so. I think when children see this, if they do, they're going to notice the difference between this and video game animation today, because there's something just like it draws you in, and it's real. There's a realness to it.
I know we're kind of running down the line here. We don't have much time, so let me hit you with one more question before I let you go. When I was a young man, I used to have to get up early on Saturday mornings to beat my brother to the couch to get a good spot in front of the TV. And I'm talking about 60s and 70s, not to date myself, but which I did. But I had to get up earlier than that to beat my parents into the kitchen, pour myself a big bowl of sugary goodness. So Jeff, look right here. What was your favorite bowl of Saturday morning cereal, and what cartoons did you like to watch?
Well, so let's go back to 1969. Scooby Doo, sitting in front of the television in my Batman pajamas, and Captain Crunch cereal, scraping the roof of my mouth, and loving every second of it.
You're the third Captain Crunch in the line today. And I like to say the Captain demands your respect by tearing up the inside of your mouth. And it's a fine line between pain and soggy, right?
Totally.
Pain and disappointment.
Yeah, totally. I love it. Yeah. No, I mean, it just brings you back. I mean, you think about the commercials that you saw, depending on what show you watch.
Right.
I mean, it's like, I mean, I remember the first time watching Speed Racer, and I think it was on at like 4 o'clock in the afternoons, and Marine Boy and those cartoons. I mean, it was
Kimba.
Kimba. Oh my God, that's another one. Yeah. And then, of course, Spider-Man. I mean, I was fixated on that series. The old Spider-Man, from the late 60s. And then, of course, Super Friends. I mean,
that's what we didn't know any better. That's what we had.
No, we did not know any better. And what's funny is that I didn't even see a lot of these cartoons in color, because my parents, it wasn't until the late 60s they got like a real great color TV. I had a TV, but it was black and white. So when I saw them in color, it was like, whoa, it's incredible.
Same, yeah, and like those Marvel cartoons in the late 60s, I watch them now and realize it's just the same picture, zooming in, zooming out, maybe a couple of mouth flaps. Swinging this way, swinging this way. We didn't, like I said, we didn't know any better. It's what we had.
Right. Were you a Popeye fan?
Of course, yes.
Huge Popeye fan. Yeah.
It was Felix.
I
feel like that was the same block for me back in the day.
Yep. Felix. I mean, I was a huge Jetsons fan. And of course Flintstones, and Huck maybe was the first cartoon that really spoke to me, because there was I had a cousin, and he sounded exactly like Huckleberry Hound. I'm the greatest detective of all time. My cousin lived in Tennessee, and he had that real Southern drawl and that real smooth, sort of slow speech, and then So I think I took to those cartoons, the Hanna-Barbera maybe, even before Looney Tunes.
All right, man.
It's cool. Thank
Jeff,
you, Jimmy.
Thank you so much for your time. Pleasure's all on this side of the microphone, man. Enjoy the rest of your con.
Thank you. You too now.
That's all, folks.
I love it. Thanks, man.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
I like fat hat.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's get right into it right here. Welcome to San Diego Comic-Con 2024. Jimmy with Retro Cool Nerd. I'm here with iconic voice actor Eric Bauza. You cannot swing a dead cat without hitting this man's name in the credits.
I bet you say that to all your favorite voice actors, Doc.
Along with everybody else, I'm humbled by your bona fides, man. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
This is not an easy trek with a tripod, a crew, and a microphone. I get to walk in with just a cool Elmira shirt. You guys are the ones doing all the hard work.
Especially in July. Right?
Oh my gosh. Did someone change the humidity in this room? It's crazy.
So we're going to talk about MeTV Toons.
Yes, sir.
Right. Spill it.
MeTV Toons is a blessing from above for animation lovers around the world. We're talking about classic cartoons.
From the Warner Brothers library.
Hanna-Barbera.
Woody Woodpecker.
And even like Freakazoid. I mean, we're talking about now we're leaking into the 90s and early 2000s. I consider those classics now, which is making my back hurt. But MeTV Toons is the place to be for any cartoon lover. Not just a rerun channel, but carefully curated, hand-picked cartoons that I think were put together with thought and heart.
A couple years ago, can't even remember how many it was. We first met. Not that you'd remember.
Yeah, I did.
You were the voice of in the Banana Splits movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And
Were we in? It was in this room, though.
it was one of these.
It was
I'll look. I think this was over there.
Yes, it was. It
Yeah.
was. I do remember these round tables.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah, absolutely. The Banana Splits movie.
at that point, you were just taking over Bugs Bunny, right around then, or had
Yeah,
just
it had just started, 2019.
right.
It was the last Comic-Con before the pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah.
What has that journey been like for you, stepping into some big shoes right there? Talk a little bit about that.
Just incredible. Again, Mel Blanc will always be the man when it comes to these years, and June Foray, the woman, yeah, it's always a dream to work, and then like getting recognized with awards like with the Emmy Awards.
Yeah.
I never thought in a million years that that would happen, and I always say the work is the real award and recognition, and the Emmy.
It's just the carrot on the carrot cake, Doc. Yeah.
I love it. What about? Let me ask you if you can. Final word on Coyote versus Acme.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna premiere it this weekend on MeTV Toons. I'm just kidding.
Oh no! No.
Can you imagine how insane that would
Place would
be?
go crazy.
I mean, look, this is what happens in Hollywood. Sometimes you work on projects. Sometimes they make it to the end, to the final. Until you see that last credit roll on a big screen or a small screen, you could breathe a sigh of relief. But until then, you're kind of holding your breath and holding your chest, hoping for the best. And sometimes these things happen. Sometimes they fall through the cracks. Sometimes it's just not part of the agenda. And it's not saying that there's nothing coming up with these characters. It's just saying maybe not this time.
Mhm.
But at least we have things like MeTV Toons, where these cartoons will live on forever, uninterrupted.
All right. One more before I let you
Yes,
go.
sir.
When I was a young man, I used to have to get up super early on Saturday mornings to beat
Yeah.
my brother to the couch to get the good spot in front of the TV.
Heck yeah.
Have to get up earlier than that to beat my parents into the kitchen, pour myself a big bowl of sugary goodness to get me through that morning. So Eric Bauza right here. What's your favorite bowl of Saturday morning cereal? What cartoons did you watch?
Well, it would have to be Lucky Charms, Doc. Talk to my dentist about that. And let's say probably the Bugs Bunny and Tweety show, although it should have been called just the Daffy Show.
That's got to be a dream come true to watch. At least it would be for me to grow up watching that and finally to embody that.
I think the dream come true is standing in San Diego chatting with gentlemen like yourself here at Comic-Con, where we get to celebrate
Too kind.
what we love, right?
Too kind.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time, Eric.
Likewise.
I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your con.